So it's that time of the month again, Olight sales. And this time they have released a new product, the Warrior Mini 3. Now, being a huge fan of the first two gens, in fact, these are my most carried flashlights pretty much of any flashlight for any brand, I was skeptical that this would be worth upgrading considering I have multiple copies of each. But yeah, well, we'll talk about whether it's worth it or not. We also have a number of other products to talk about with this, and I really want to pay close attention to how you can maximize your value with these sales. There's some tips and tricks that I've used over the years that might be pertinent to you so you don't spend more money than you should. So we'll do that as well, and we don't have a lot of time, so let's get right to it. So we're going to start this out by talking about the Warrior Mini 3. How good is it? Is it worth upgrading? So first of all, the big thing is when you compare it to the second generation, you can see it's a significant difference not only in length, but especially in the width of the head. So it's going to be a little bit easier to put into various different organizers and sheaths, and I have found that to be the case. In fact, that's how I've been carrying this flashlight quite often. Now, in addition to the size and dimensions, they've made some improvements in some of the other hardware, including this tail switch. Now, this is the one thing that a lot of people didn't focus on, but I really want to mention. My biggest concern, and that I tell people about the original designs, is that there's a big enough gap between the outer and inner ring that if you work in sandy or dirty environments, you may have trouble getting it to function properly. They have significantly reduced the space between these sections, and they've also made the button more proud as well. Everything about this new button is better. In fact, a lot of things about this flashlight are just strictly better. They have removed the rubberized button and actually made it a metal button with a small coating. So even though it does feel soft, it's actually a metal button. So that was a nice improvement. The pocket clip. At first, I was pretty annoyed because there's two positions in the Warrior Mini 2, and I kind of liked it because it gave me different ways to carry it. And then I realized they elongated this clip, which lets you also carry it so that only this much is exposed. And actually, if you look in my sheath, that's actually the way I've been carrying it, with just the small amount of the pocket clip being on the outside. It never gets hooked on anything by accident, and the extra space that is extended out of the sheath lets me grab it. And inside the pocket, what that means is I can grab it fully and put it in the position I need it right from the get-go. I don't have to slide down on the light, which is exactly what you want if you're using it as more of a defensive light. And it does function incredibly well for that purpose. And speaking of some changes that revolve around defensive nature, one of the things that was a problem is that the sensor, which they've updated dramatically in this, has basically gotten rid of the weirdness. What happens is if it turns on and it's close to something, it will automatically dim. But if you're already on high, it's not going to turn it down, which is so much better than the Warrior Mini 2. So I do think that if this is something that annoys you, or if you're not invested in the Warrior Mini 2 already, this is definitely a good upgrade. And you can get it for a pretty darn good price. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the section of how to get your best value. But yes, so the big deal here is that the Warrior Mini 3 might be the best thing that they've come up with. Let's go ahead and talk about what is actually my favorite flashlight from this sale, and it's not the Warrior Mini 3. And that's a big surprise. So to review the next product, first I have to admit my dirty little flashlight secret. The Warrior Mini, the Baton 3, all these larger flashlights, they're all backups. They're not my primary flashlight. The one that I use all the time, the one that is on me at all times, is this. Yeah, I wear it around my neck. Usually it's something like the freebie this time around, the i1R2 Pro. But this new iMini 2, the ability to take it off, and now I have 50 lumens in my hand with a magnetic base, is phenomenal. It works great, and 50 lumens is more than enough, maybe even too many lumens for the kind of uses I'm going for, which is kind of waking up in the middle of the night. I would have taken a 25 lumen high CRI emitter, but you know what, not bad. And it's still more than twice the runtime of the smaller variety, which has only 10 lumens. So pretty darn cool. And this is my absolute favorite thing that it can do, because I wear metal frames. Boom, right there. And yes, it will actually work hands-free, and I can use it, look into a bag, whatever it happens to be, and then just put it back. I love that. That is great. Very efficient. And if I get up in the middle of the night and I need to do a brain dump, which does happen, I'll have ideas. I have a notebook. I'll take it out, put that on my glasses, which I'll grab, and then do my thing, put it away, and go back to sleep. I also used to get up at 4 a.m. to go to work, and flashlights that have a low output like that are really, really useful. I like this product quite a bit. Like I said, the only thing that I would ask for is maybe in the future they make a high CRI version with a lower output, but I like the platform. The Type A charging is phenomenal, and it's still IPX8 waterproof. One of my favorite keychain-esque designs that they've come out with. In some ways, much better than the i1R2 Pro. I do think I like the mode set on this a little bit better. 5 lumens and 180 lumens, I think are actually surprisingly useful. That's probably all you really need for most people, but still really, really good, and definitely something you're gonna wanna check out. When we talk about deals, it's gonna come up a number of times. So the next product we're going to talk about is the Perun Mini 2. Now they've made some upgrades over the last generation, and I haven't reviewed the light yet. So from off, the big thing here is that you double press, let me do that right, double press, you get a red light that is around 40 lumens, and this will last for 150 minutes. So really, really cool. And they also increase the output. So if you turn it on once, double press again, 1100 lumens, and it's very, very bright. I do like this light, and I think it's actually a very underrated EDC flashlight to have a right angle like this, because you can simply attach it to a shirt collar. So if you don't have a hat, it's a great option. The other thing I just want to point out, we're not going to go into mode sets and outputs. You can not only see them on the website, this thing has been reviewed ad nauseum, as have all of these other flashlights. But this is so well designed because you can use it on the side of your head with a variety of different flashlights. So I can just lock that in, put it on the side, and we're good to go. It's even able to hold something up to the size of the Baton 3 Pro Max, which is a 21700, and it will still function. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I can still set this up, and it's ready to rock and roll. So if I needed something hands-free, it was too heavy, or I wasn't wearing a hat in the first place, this strap is pretty universal. In fact, I tried it with a bunch of other brands, and it worked with those as well. So definitely a good investment for sure. And great strap. They probably should sell this separately, frankly. Now, because Olight sent me a lot of these products, I get sent some things that either I don't like, but sometimes I like so much and I never would have purchased in the first place. And this is an example of one of those. I didn't expect to like it or enjoy it as much as I have. But really what it comes down to is it's an easy to recommend light for anyone who doesn't want to think about user interface or anything complicated. It's so simple dial. So when you turn it on, it gets brighter in that soft, warm glow, and then it changes over to the white, and that goes all the way bright, and then you just turn it back down. Really, really simple. Waterproof, USB-C charging. It's got a nice little clip with a little carabiner design, all metal. Really solid feeling. It can attach to a tripod if you want to. We had a ton of fun with this. In fact, it kind of doubled as a kitchen light at one point. So really, really cool design. Yeah, what else to say? Great little lantern, and it feels really, really solid. It's not like some cheapo plastic thing. It's all metal construction, and yeah, it's great. So the next couple products we're gonna rattle off real fast. The first one being the Brass O-Pen Mini. So it used to be when you ordered pens, you would get access to free refills that you could add to your cart as well. They kind of did away with that. So now they give you a slight discount, but it's still like $8 for a pack of 3, and they're all proprietary. You can't pretty much fit anything else in here except the one that's made for it. I think that's a big mistake on Olight's part, and it's made me like them a lot less than I used to. And they used to be some of the best investments because you could get 5 refills. and then you could really get your usage out of it. You were more likely to lose it than you were to run out of ink. Now, what I would suggest they do in the future, maybe when you reach certain levels of expenditure per sale, they offer a whole bunch of free things. It could be free pocket clips that go with certain flashlights, disposable batteries, or refills for pens. So something for Olight to think about. Still a great little product, very, very convenient, very cool that it has that bolt action, and because it's not going to accidentally deploy on you, but it's not as good as it used to be, primarily because you can't get those free refills. Just something to keep in mind. Also, during the sale, they also have Timascus beads for about 10 bucks. And so I don't own much stuff in Timascus because the products that are usually made in it are very expensive. But if you wanted a Timascus bead to go with those products or with, well, pretty much anything, this might not be a bad time to get it. Nice, simple bead, very easy to use. I wouldn't necessarily use the blue paracord. Maybe go with a leather strap, and that would be a good call. But definitely something else that you can take a look at or add to try to hit certain levels that will give you more discounts. So that's an item to keep in mind. I didn't want this video to end before I gave people the ins and outs to get the most value for your money. So I want to talk about the breakpoints. At each of these breakpoints, you're going to get your best value. The first one is at only $5. At $5, you will get whatever is being offered free for that particular sale. All you're paying is the $5 shipping cost. So this being a $22-ish flashlight, and it's a good one, I know that for a fact, yeah, that's a no-brainer, right? $5. Even if you get nothing else, you come in, you get your flashlight, it's a free gift, you collect them through the year, and then you put them in stocking stuffers. Ready to go. The next breakpoint is going to be at $60. And at $60, you might want to consider actually starting a new account, even if you already have one. And the reason is when you start a new account, you get a new account gift, and you also get 2 coupons. One activates at $60 a purchase and can be combined with discounted products. And the other one activates at $90, and that offers a $15 coupon. So at $60, that's a good option. And the best way to do this is to look for bundles that are going to get you right there. And there's a couple of them in this sale that are really, really easy to get to. The first one, of course, is the Warrior Mini 3 with the iMini 2. So for a couple of dollars more, I think it goes from 63 to like 67, you get both of my 2 favorite flashlights from this sale together. You always want to keep an eye out for pairs. They tend to be just a couple of dollars more, and they usually include add-ons like this one, and it's a lot better deal. So don't buy single items until you've looked through everything. The other thing you want to be aware of is what they call the DIY bundle. They usually hide that kind of down low on the scrolling. And maybe that's because it's a really good deal. What you need to know about this is search DIY. First of all, it'll make it a lot easier, and you'll see all the items that are part of that little system. And the other thing that they don't mention or don't specify is that you can use multiple of a single item, and that counts as 1, 2, or 3 to get to that maximum 40% discount. So for example, and this is actually something I did for this sale, I added 2 O-bulbs, which are normally 20, and it reduces it down to 12 at 40% off. And I also wanted a backup baton 3. So I went ahead and added this, which normally is like $60 and dropped to $35. So that's a nice little addition to have as a backup that I can swap between in the case. The case, by the way, which is also part of the DIY bundle with the flashlight, $100, $60 though when it's 40% off. It's another great way to get it to all work together. And so definitely check that out. Anytime they have grouping of things, you're going to want to really look through all the different options, because you're going to end up spending a lot more money on individual items than you will when they're all grouped together. I think that's about it. Other than the fact that if you hit, oh yeah, I was wrong. At $75, you're going to get free shipping. So they're going to knock off that $5 charge. And then at $90, like I said, you can use the coupon for new buyers. So let's say we're spending 90 bucks, right? We get $90 worth of value, and it drops down to, I can do math, 75. And you're still gonna get the free shipping and $90 worth of stuff. So that's kind of like how I would do it if I was shopping, especially if I was trying to get the most for my money. I hope that's helpful to you guys. I hate it when people spend more money than they should. And these products are good. I want to hate on Olight sometimes. They do come out with some crazy stuff, but they're really consistent and the products are really good. And they're getting better, which is really impressive. Both their customer service and their quality control seems to be improving. And the fact that they adapt so quickly and come out with new models, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's it for today. Probably more than you ever needed to know about Olight sales. And thanks again for your time. I do appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.